firm, among other things, is focused on NetPen construction for your customers. And so as you engage in those projects and work in those industries, what, in addition to what you've already mentioned, so what are some of the challenges facing NetPen operators, would you say?
Well, there's over the last few years, we've definitely seen, a real move away from using copper nets in many regions, which has led to a different philosophy on how to maintain clean nets. And we've seen an explosion in situ washing over the last few years with some really impressive technologies in the way of ROVs and that sort of thing. But how that actually affects fish health has been, as you would imagine, that's been it has effects, and how it's how we adapt to it, or what solutions or what needs to be done to factor that in. So that net cleaning, that requirement to clean nets and how to manage those nets, and then tie that into treatment regimes and treatment operations such as peroxide, freshwater baths, and delousing situations or equipment. Those operations are becoming really, like, in a very short period of time, have become just a regular requirement of NetPen fish farming. And so those challenges that are related to that, such as gill health issues, whether it's from AGD or hydroids, whether it's health issues from plankton blooms or low oxygen levels, how those are affecting NetPen operations and why. It's such a complex ecosystem or mini ecosystem on an aquaculture operation that making a change in one place might not, we're not always able to anticipate how that's going to affect, or sometimes we wouldn't even think about how it might affect things in another aspect. So what we're seeing is, we refer to as water quality in a general sense, whether it's plankton, low oxygen, sea lice or jellyfish blooms, those types of things that are affecting water quality in the net pens. Those are a real challenge that has to be overcome, or constantly be innovating to be staying on top of them. And then with that comes treatment regimes and the different ways of treating, whether it's with tarps or whether it's with well boats or some combination of the two. And those operational realities of being in the open ocean and essentially exposed to whatever Mother Nature has out there. So often it's what's critical to the NetPen farming operations, but at the same time it brings it brings challenges that that need to be overcome each day. So there's really a lot to talk about there, but it's in general it really comes down to those things.
Great. Thanks for that, Matt. And so I know from your website that your company, Poseidon, has a strong focus on R&D, research and development, and the website notes that 50% of your time is devoted to research and development. So that's a very important part of your business, including 15 new products and some patents pending, which is excellent. So as you go about the research and innovation at Poseidon, what are some advancements or technologies in NetPen operations that are kind of exciting to you guys?
Well, there's twofold. We've really focused our R&D on two aspects of NetPen operations. One being the NetPens themselves, as well as, again, what we call the life support category, which is aeration and oxygenation and anything related to maintaining that better water quality. So on the NetPen side of things, we've put a lot of effort into developing better steel cage farming platforms, as partly in response to we've seen real challenges with some of the regions around the world that rely on that as their foundational structure, steel pens. So we've seen, obviously we've seen some pretty catastrophic failures that are impacting the industry overall and affecting the social license. So we put a lot of effort in developing better systems in that way. But it also ties into what I refer to as the trends we're keeping an eye on, which is floating closed containment or closed containment operations that still exist in the ocean, and being able to provide better, more operationally ready systems to allow farmers to consider transitioning or to adopting super smolt or more advanced grow out profiles where they're delivering fish into the open ocean environment at a more mature stage of the life cycle to try and realize better growth, reduce mortalities and better overall health. So we're pretty excited about some developments we've made and breakthroughs we've made on that side of things when it comes to the NetPen systems. And then the other side of it is on the life support, which comes with the aeration and oxygenation. And there can be no doubt that farming the open ocean, and one of the big challenges we have is doing things efficiently. We're trying to manipulate an open environment, which is challenging to say the least, and can be costly if it's not done efficiently. So, when it comes to fighting plankton, gill health issues, jellyfish blooms, that sort of thing, how can we efficiently keep those threats under control on the farm, or how can we expel them from the farm or prevent them from entering the farm, and how to do that in a cost-efficient manner. And on the aeration side of things, which is aeration to us is using air, just air, not purified oxygen or anything like that, but just compressed air. It's one of the most effective, or if not the most effective method for managing large volumes of water like we see on a NetPen operation. On that side of things, we've been able to make massive breakthroughs in both the efficiency, so the amount of energy required to generate farm-wide mitigation systems. So we've been able to cut energy consumption by up to over 50% in some cases, which is, for a modern NetPen operation in Canada, they can easily be burning over $50,000 a month in fuel to protect their biomass. And if we can cut that by 50%, the cost savings is massive, but also the sustainability improvement of reducing the carbon footprint by 25,000 liters of diesel per month. It's staggering, and it takes the industry is already has the lowest carbon footprint for animal protein production in the world, and to be able to reduce that farther through advancements in efficiencies is really just continuing to support that advantage for the industry. And then along with, in addition to aeration, there's also the oxygenation side of things, which obviously is a big part of our work with OSI and in the NetPen solution. So we've seen, oxygenation has been a system or an option for NetPen operations, in sim as it has been for hatcheries and land-based operations since, really since the beginning of farming operations. But what we've seen in the last few years is new technologies that have allowed us greater control, greater information and data, greater access to the information that we need to make, the farmers need to make better decisions, and then better actual equipment itself. Some of the systems that we're putting in the water today are delivering, return on investment in less than a year, and the return on investment is coming in by way of faster growth, meaning shorter time in the ocean, faster time to harvest, as well as significant improvement in health and actual growth rates. So we've had customers reporting, shaving 2 months off the time to harvest while adding 20% more biomass by using oxygenation in the NetPen environment in very specific, using very specific technologies and solutions, and that's an advancement that is it's really hard to state how significant that is, to be able to generate 20% more product in usually 10% less time. The return on investment is pretty clear there, and so it's exciting. It's early stages in that development, but we've had multiple customers report the same success, which is really encouraging from an advancement perspective.
Yeah, very much so. And as you described, both the environmental and economic benefits of that are significant. Great, thank you.